not going to let you hide. He wants to try and bring down a Force, but a Force ends ground. And Champ pulls Spear back in the base after her Force gets a double kill. Leap on the way! The leap on the swap on the leap!
Butchering Brax, phase shift dodges it, but to what end? They've done no damage. Now their song's down, and Fnatic are going to move on here.
Both guys able to signal the tree line. Denny going to phase shift, and then when the achievements come, they're going to jump in. Koro! Big stun, double stun, feed good cancel, black hole, won't go. He actually gets two. KYX right up higher, locked in position. A Force with a double kill. Luchi almost dead, and is dead. Pushing down, and SK will buy back, and GG! Navi! Are you ready? Welcome everybody back to your MLG TKO coverage. I'm Toby1.
And I'm the Capitalist.
After our short intermission, a beverage was gained, some things were shaved, and we come back here for our final games of Fnatic. There's, I'm glad you actually also like visually did that. I realized just putting that by itself was actually quite bad.
Yeah, I think my short hair probably isn't that noticeable when I get a haircut. So.
Yeah, because he's a Marine. He's a Marine. Used to be a Marine.
I just can't stand the long hair. I'm sure I'll get back into it eventually, but for now, it's just the long hair. It feels gross. Just like I gotta keep the sides shaved. Gotta keep it nice. You're not in the L'Oreal commercial, Toby. I'm sorry. You're red haired. It's not gonna work. Your flowing beard locks.
On that thought, let's go to the game.
Like there aren't enough GIFs. Like there isn't a certain image out there, Toby.
Hey.
You don't need to add more to that.
It's just sharing the love.
For more, for the image that we're talking about, be sure to go check out Toby1's Facebook.
Yeah, because all the greatest people follow me on Facebook at Toby1 Dota. It's the greatest people.
Toby literally leads at least one conversation every single day with, hey, did you see my Facebook?
Well, that's interesting.
And I'm like, no, Toby, I see you every single day. I don't need to look at your Facebook.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Everyone's got to look, man. Everyone's got to look.
I guess so.
Let's actually look at our game right now. So, Fnatic versus RoX is our matchup of the evening. Now, we already had one game early tonight for RoX. Their matchup against Team Empire is one of the most complicated matchups we could have ever scheduled. It's actually happening at 3 different times, which was never the original plan for it, but it's just because of scheduling, and we're the nice guys.
Hey, no one can say we're inflexible about times when we're willing to separate a 3-game series like that.
We understand the perils that is a team schedule. But right now, though, we do have RoX in a rather bad position. They're sitting at 0-1. The upside is the fact that when Fnatic played up against Team Empire, Fnatic lost 2 of their games. So in order for Fnatic to qualify themselves through, they basically have to win all 3 games, hands down. Like, that's a guaranteed qualification, which means the next 2 games that happen between Team Empire and RoX will not matter. That's what they need. But at the same time, actually, I should also say, too, that if Fnatic end up actually winning all 3 games straight, it'll actually mean a lot for Team Empire, what happens between themselves and RoX, because then we'll have bonus point advantage. Who would actually have it and who does not.
Right. There's a possibility that Fnatic could upset the whole entire thing and take first, I believe. No matter what Team Empire have claimed a spot, it's just up to basically RoX whether or not they can take all games up against Fnatic, and they'll be in a good position to be able to take that second slot. Or if they lose 2 of their games, I think they're pretty much out. So they need to win.
If you have 4 losses, you're basically removed straight away.
Yeah, and you don't want to lose 2 games up against Fnatic knowing you still have 2 more games up against Empire.
Yeah. The reason why I say 4 losses is because, like, I know Team Liquid ended up going 2 for 4, but that's because EG was 6 for 0, which just completely imbalanced the group.
Yeah, exactly.
EG.
And they also did not have that extra point to their name, which Fnatic do.
Yeah.
So.
That is true. That's true. Fnatic have the 2 bonus points coming to their name. So right now, let's get to our draft, man. Ember Spirit, second time tonight, we'll get to see him. And in combination, with a Darkseer and a very early Darkseer pickup as well.
You know what this means, well, you don't know what this means.
No,
but you know what this could mean, right?
It could be our Naga Siren Enigma combination. No, yeah,
you got to include
Disruptor.
Disruptor is the combo with Darkseer because the Enigma is like a bonus, but the Naga Siren into the Darkseer vacuum into the Static Storm Kinetic Field combos is what Fnatic were running primarily. But I mean, this is different though because we can't see. I mean, we could, I guess, see a Naga Siren still, but you already got an Ember Spirit who traditionally fulfills the mid role. That's not to say he wouldn't be strong in the vacuum group up. I mean, if you go Battle Fury early on,
not to mention
all the more benefit for people to be grouped up in a tight corner like that.
Not to mention you give Ember Spirit that Iron Shell on top of him too, so like you get the double burn off.
Yeah, that's also true.
I don't know if that actually works when he's fisting though. Would you be there long enough for the damage to actually tick out?
It's possible that you might actually do like an extra 1 or 2 damage, or 5, maybe 10 damage. But
we're talking about actual like 5 actual points of damage.
I mean, you're only there for like quarter of a second. So and that Ion Shell is like it does work in very small increments. So I don't know. It's a possibility.
Never tested. Just trying to think about it.
Yeah.
Fnatic come up with the Enchantress, so we won't see the Enigma inside the jungle, so we're not looking for the extra combo there. And maybe we do see the Disruptor. With this kind of combo, I think Fnatic is realizing that if they try and just go for their wombo combo, it won't be enough. This is a rack game. You got a Nature's Prophet and a Luna and Invoker.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is a rack game right now. So prepare yourself for at least 40 minutes of this game, because Nature's Prophet's going to lay this one up. And Ember Spear as well as Darkseer as well could do exactly the same kind of thing.
This is why I've been kind of surprised that we haven't seen Keeper of the Light in the meta pretty much at all, because so many different strategies rely on minions. I mean, think about the return of Lycan. The return of Lycan, Drow Ranger coming into the fold as well as a popular carry. Like all those heroes, and Luna especially is a carry who has been consistently picked up, is always good when you mix it with minions, because then you start getting in that extra bit of damage. For Luna here, it's going to be just good crowd cover for Luna to sit behind those minions just to be able to tank up the tower, and then you got Luna and the rest of the heroes beating on that tower. You know, minions are a very key part to a lot of these They have late game, but they also have a lot of early push potential. And this is an example where you're going to have a possibility of an Exort Invoker who summons Forge Spirits, and then you've got the Treants coming into play, and then you've got Luna giving these 2 different ratios their extra attack damage as well.
Yeah.
Towers are going to fall real quickly if Fnatic don't have good enough team fight. Now they're going to fall even faster. Shadow Shaman being picked up.
Yeah, this is almost like a coddle game right now. Bring him in. Illuminate spam, and the towers will never ever get pushed.
But at the same time, Coddle is not very strong versus Shadow Shaman. And I think Fnatic right now, what they have with... You don't pick up Darkseer this early without a reason, and that reason has got to be team fight. There are very few reasons why you pick up a Darkseer right now in this meta. Primarily, it's because of your vacuum. It's
they don't have a team fight combo hero, though.
Well, like, they don't yet.
But even if you pick up something like a Naga to help you set up, or like Disruptor to a point would be able to help you, but you got 2 heroes, almost 3 heroes that are happy to go into a BKB. Maybe not Invoker as happy as them all. But your Nature's Prophet and Luna can accept going into BKBs. And then Fnatic will have no control. And Disruptor won't find the space or the time to farm up into an Aghanim Scepter this early on. So yeah, I'm actually more down with this from Fnatic being a lot more aggressive. We go Enchantress, Shadow Demon, which means it's roaming, it's ganking, and it's high level of control coming out from these 2, which allow the rest of the team of Fnatic to start killing off. And this means too, like that Ember Spirit can be mid-solo. It doesn't have to be Era up on that top lane. They could find actually something else to go nicely up against that Nature's Prophet. But this allows Fnatic to be a lot more aggressive early on and stop RoX from pushing just based on the fear of their lanes.
Yeah, because you're right. Their basic opening is going to be in the laning phase, because looking at it right now, Invoker, he's a hero that usually stays in the meta lane, doesn't do a whole lot of movement outside of it. Luna's going to be focused on her early farm, needs to get that BKB, because you're right, once BKBs start coming up, Fnatic are going to lose out on a lot here, and then they have to start going into the late game, where Ember Spirit and his physical damage will start showing up. But KIS here, they've got a lot of mid-game push, but I think Fnatic here with the right aggressive mid-game oriented carry, they can fight KIS in some of these early tier 1 towers.
I'm just watching the Doom ban out.
Yeah, it's an interesting... I mean...
It's not for a direct counter. It's not for a direct counter. Like, they're missing one last support hero. The Chen was actually probably going to be their choice here, because that would still allow them to have the extra strength to force down towers.
Right.
But the Doom pickup, I think, might be because of KIS fearing the Fnatic just stall the game up a little bit more. And the 3 cores become very, very strong early on, would be possibly their major concern, because they may not be looking for a lineup that wants to roam gank. Which means Godblack's in a bit of position, a rough position for their last one. And he goes for something which is very classic Godblack. The Abaddon pickup. This is protection underneath towers.
Yeah, he loves this hero a lot, and I love it a lot too. I love watching it, mainly because a strong Abaddon, I think, is one of the best supports going into past like 15 minutes. He can be one of the strongest supports, mainly because of Fnatic Shield being able to go through disables. So it's if you just have the right positioning as an Abaddon to be able to clear your carry of those disables, give them time to turn on their BKBs and turn and fight. You know, those sort of situations, the heal's very strong. So Fnatic do continue to go here for this early aggression.
I love it.
And this is going to be a farming Kunkka that this is actually pretty typical of the meta right now, where we have a earlier game hero being in the 1 position, and your mid actually being more of your late game carry. So Kunkka is going to be that farmer in the beginning. He'll provide a lot of mid-game impact. So will the Ember Spirit, but going into late game, it's really going to rely on the Ember Spirit because he has that more consistent damage. Sleight of Fist lower cooldown than that Tidebringer. Your Tidebringer going into late game is just like, well, I hope I get a crit, guys. If not, well, I guess we lose.
Well, so we got crit, we got fisting. Well, even if I don't get my crit, we've still got the fist, and then we have an Iron Shell. No one's ever going to get up the hill. Like, there's going to be a major problem here for KIS, in fact. Like, not even just, like, into the later portion of the game. In the early portion, you got 4 points up in that Tidebringer. Just breaching the high ground is going to be a massive, massive problem.